Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've remade all of this, it feels like 15 times. It's only been a couple times, but I feel like I've remade this way too many times. So we're going to try one last time, see how we go. So if you're new here, subscribe. Thanks for popping in. If you like anti-MLM content, I have a whole playlist. Go check it out. Binge watch it. Leave comments. I try to comment back to everybody as much as possible, as quickly as possible, but sometimes it's a couple days before I say anything back, so don't freak out. If you are not new and you are coming back here, thank you for coming back. I truly and honestly appreciate it. Leave me some more comments. If you haven't left me a comment yet, leave me a comment. If there's anything different you'd like to see too, comment that below as well. But in today's episode of My Skin is Breaking Out Again, and we're going into some anti-MLM content, I am going to be discussing Christianity within the MLM. Or, in other words, God gave me this opportunity. Which, the Lord does not give you a scam. I mean, spoiler alert, He does not set a scam in your hands. He does not set a scam right in front of you. Nothing good comes out of this, so God doesn't do it. Okay? Remember that. Anything good, God does. Just saying. If I need to repeat it again, I will. Everything good comes from God. Everything bad comes from Satan. In case you didn't know that. If you didn't know that, you now know it. You have no excuse now to say any different. Okay? We're going to get into the video though now. So, I've got some notes in my handy dandy notebook, all color coded, and not sure why I picked orange and green and purple, but whatever. We're going to go with that. But, like, the big question that I've asked, and I'm sure everybody else asks, is, why do MLM Huns, why do they use Christianity as a selling point or a manipulation tactic? And for me, the best answer that I've got from this is because, as a Christian woman, and I'm sure with Christian men as well, it is hard sometimes to find people that are very like-minded with you and believe like you do. So when you find somebody that believes like you do, you pretty much trust them. And that's the biggest thing with this big question that we have here is, why do they use it? Because if you are religious and you talk about God and things like that, obviously that does not mean you're a good person. Or, it sometimes doesn't always mean that you're a true Christian either. Don't yell at me. But, so when I was in the first company that I was in, if y'all don't know what that is, go check out my MLM horror stories of my own and why I became anti-MLM. But the first company I was in, I was 18 years old. And, wow. I was in a very hard place. If you want the full story, you can go check it out. But in summary, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to really work again. I had an injury to my neck, which made me very dizzy, and it scared me. Like, I was in a pretty dark and upset place because I was very scared that I would not be able to work and be able to provide and ever, to become a good wife to my fiance or anything like that. All the things run through your head when you're going through something tough, and that was pretty tough for me because I'm a pretty independent person, especially on myself, and it was just really hard. And I got a message one day from this lady, and we had been friends for a little bit on Instagram, and then I added her on Facebook and stuff. She posted some things about God, and we talked about God and things like that, and we talked about health and wellness stuff because I was trying to eat better and do better for myself so that I would heal quicker, in hopes that I would heal quicker and feel better. And then she presented this opportunity to me, and I had opened up to her, telling her, how I felt, why I felt the way I did, and so on and so forth, which probably was a huge mistake. But she got me to open up, is what I'm trying to say. And she used that pretty much against me, even though she's very nice, and I do really like her, and I still do, even though I really don't have her as a friend on anything anymore, but Instagram, I mean, I tried to get all that out of my life when I decided I was finally done, but she used that to kind of talk me into starting, and she would basically say that God gave me this opportunity for a reason, that I'd be so good at this, that there was a reason that we had met, that God had put us in each other's lives for a reason, blah, 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 blah. And which at that time, I did believe that. And I feel like, too, that she was put in my life for a certain reason for later on down the road now, as I am, like, talking about this kind of stuff and trying to raise awareness about it and that kind of thing. But, and basically it was like, well, God gave you this and you need to share it to the world. You need to share your story. You need to share your story, because the Lord has put this upon, like, the Lord has gave you this gift and put it in your hands, and you just need to share it with everybody. And I mean, I did. I didn't get anywhere, but I did. Only place that I got was in the negatives. Okay? Like, negatives in my bank account. But to me, it's a manipulation tactic, and as a Christian myself, I want to be around like-minded Christian people. But I have come to find that sometimes like-minded Christian people can be very deceitful, especially when it comes to multi-level marketing. Like, that is the biggest thing. Greed will override your religion, no matter what your religion is, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Hindu, Muslim, any of those religions, any of the thousands, millions of religions there are out there. Like, greed will overrun you, and you start using what was good about your spirituality, especially as a Christian. You start using it against people to try to make people come in and make you money. And I've said in my previous videos, I was then shunned later on a little bit more because I wasn't working hard enough, that I wasn't doing the things that God had set up for me, and so on and so forth. But I feel like they use it to brainwash, and then to brainwash people too. And I use that term very lightly, because, you know, brainwashing can be like anywhere from extreme to very little, that kind of thing. It just depends on like what team you were on and so forth. But my thing is, like, as I said before, Christians can be easily manipulated when it comes to their religion, especially if they're not really strong in the scripture. At that point in time, I mean, I knew my scriptures, I knew my Bible stories and that kind of thing. But as an 18-year-old woman who basically is still semi-kid, I was still easily manipulated. And I thought I could do something that has a 99% fail rate. Like, no, that was not from God. That was not from God. I'm sorry. It wasn't from God. And it for me at least, and I know from some people that I've talked to, when Christianity is used as a manipulation tactic to start your own business, to become a distributor, to become a coach, whatever your label is for the MLM that is trying to get you to start, you get so torn. Like, you are so torn between, this is wrong, and maybe this is from God, and I don't want to disobey him. And that makes me get kind of emotional, because it's hard. It really is hard. Like, I've been in people's shoes before, like, when they're going through stuff like this, like, and this is being used against them. It's just so frustrating. It makes me sad and angry, and just angry and sad, and so much, and so forth. Because I don't want people being treated like I was, and I thought that it was okay because God gave me this opportunity. God did not give me this opportunity. Do I need to repeat it again? God did not give me that opportunity. The only reason this opportunity went into my lap, and the only thing he did was he used it to make me get smart. Okay? After it got put in my lap and I was stupid enough to say yes, he then used it to help me get smart. That's the only thing he did. He didn't plop this into my lap, okay? And then another thing I want to touch on, which I'm sure will step on somebody's toes or multiple people's toes, especially anybody that may be from this company that's still with them. We're made to think that we're doing good, that we're doing great things, that this opportunity is a blessing from God, and that we're giving this blessing to other people. And that these products are a blessing from God because they're natural and they work great, or these workouts and blah, 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 you know. You get my gist. But when in reality, a lot of these people in these MLMs that are like pushing this agenda onto their distributors, and their distributors are pushing it, and they're pushing it onto their distributors, and you know the cycle. It's basically a company full of wolves in sheep's clothing. And that sickens me. And I'm not even trying to be rude about it, but it really does. It really sickens me that people act all nice and innocent and, oh, this is great, you'll be great at doing this, and blah, 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 blah. And then when you decide that, hey, after you're $4,000 in debt, I can't do this, and you quit, they completely turn on you. They pull the wool off, and the wolf comes out. And you see them for who they truly are, or the person that they have become because of greed. In any situation that we're put in, and the Lord's going to put us in that, He is not going to put us into a situation where we're going to turn into somebody that we are 100% not, especially somebody that's hateful and rude and sadistic and just angry all the time and taking it out and greedy and all of that, like all the crappy words that you can think of, okay? If I get too much farther, I might not be able to post this video, but I want to include some Bible verses in case anybody wants to throw the Bible at these women or men that are trying to get you to join their MLM. And honestly, the first one I found was Proverbs 13:11. And a lot of these are from a more simplified version of the Bible. I know a lot of people don't like the King James version of the Bible. It's personally my favorite. I like reading that version. I think it's written beautifully and so on and so forth. But a lot of people don't and need it brought down to our type of English language, I guess is what I'm trying to go for. So this is basically it. But Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. And I want to include this one because I have seen some examples lately of different top selling distributors or market partners or whatever the heck you want to call them. I mean, I've got other words for them, but I'm not going to say them because I'm a good Christian person, and I'm not going to be hateful. I'm just going to bluntly say things. But I wanted to include this one because you will see a lot of the top distributors or distributors that are heading for the top, that are making a lot of money, get super angry when people leave or people aren't selling like they're supposed to be. And like, I've witnessed it firsthand on team calls that I've been on in both of the MLMs that I was in. I have also seen in different videos that I've watched and stuff on Instagram and things like that, where these top distributors are getting so angry and so frustrated with their downline because their downline is not selling like they were last week, and they're not going to keep their rank, and just like the top seller is not going to keep their rank either, and so on and so forth. And they get so angry and frustrated. I'm like, okay, but do you realize that you're not only scamming people that is buying your products, but you're scamming all of your distributors below you, and then you make them feel like crap when you yourself don't get your promotion or you yourself drop a rank because they couldn't sell for you or they couldn't afford to stay active that whole month, I think maybe you need a slice of humble pie, my dear. Because people have stuff happen in their life. Like they have so much different things that you don't even know about. It just makes me so mad because there's a lot going on behind closed doors for people, and a lot of people don't understand that. In 1 month, if you have several people that have to go inactive because they can't afford to do anything, they could have had their vehicle break down. They could have lost a family member. They could be losing their house because of everything, and so on and so forth. And then you go on your team call and have all your team together and you chew them out. No, I can't do that. I cannot stand that. And that's why I don't think I'll ever be able to do a reaction video on a team call that's similar to what I just described, because I will lose it. I will flip my lid. And honestly, YouTube would probably take my video down because I would be cussing so much. They're going to be like, hey, are you okay? But anyways, the next Bible verse I wanted to include was Proverbs. Use your mouth, you can talk. Proverbs 10:2. Treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteous delivers from death. And I've always thought this was a pretty verse anyways, especially at the end where it says righteous, but righteous delivers from death. So anything that you gather from being deceitful and, like in the verse says, wicked and things like that, it only lasts so long. Like, especially if you get quick wealth from scamming people, like a lot of people are like doing Bitcoin scams and stuff like that. Bitcoin, don't come at me, okay? I'm just saying there are some out there. You need to watch them. But like with people that are doing like Bitcoin scams and scamming people out of their Bitcoins and their money and things like that, like they're going to gain wealth very quickly. But when they're found out, and because they're going against any kind of community guidelines or standards for Bitcoin or anything else, then they're going to lose that. And you're going to hit the right person one day that's just going to sue your pants off. I mean, there's so many different companies that have lawsuits out, MLM companies and regular business companies that have lawsuits out that happen like right after they hit this big, what's the word I'm looking for? I wish I could think this evening. If I wasn't so tired, I could think. When they've hit like the highest that they have ever been, and then all of a sudden, bam, bam, bam. Yeah. But that one I thought was really important as well, because like I said before, if you're higher up in an MLM company, eventually you're going to be humbled. And I say humbled lightly because, I mean, there's another word for that, but I'm not going to use it. Okay, I'm going to use it. You're going to get knocked on your butt, is what I'm saying. That phrase, you're going to get knocked on your butt. And then the last Bible verse I wanted to include was Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that he will reap. And I wanted to use this one too because I myself was somebody that was deceived into joining 2 MLMs, along with many other men and women who are very Christian-like and want to be, as I said before, want to be with Christian people and like-minded people, so on and so forth. People think that it's so easy to do the right thing because you're like, oh, well, this person believes in God and this person knows the scripture, I'm going to go with them. And they end up being a serial killer or something, like. And then the person that you saw that you thought was the devil worshiper is not. That person could be a preacher or something, or could have been the answer to the prayers that you've been praying. And where it says God is not mocked, I mean, nobody can be greater than God. That's very obvious. Because for whatever one sows, that he will reap. So if you are sowing good seeds into the ground, like when you're planting your garden or something, if you're sowing good seeds, like if you're sowing good deeds as well, you're going to reap nothing but good back. If you are sowing bad seeds, molded seeds, or bad deeds, look at me rhyming, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to flourish. You may get a couple plants here and there. You're not going to flourish and grow and become this great person or great business or anything like that when your company or the company that you work for is built on deceitfulness and scamming. So I'm going this here before I get too stirred up. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Sorry it's been a while. I've been doing externship stuff, so sorry about that, guys. But anyways, hope you liked the video. I'm going to try to do some deep dives on some other things. I've got some videos saved to react to them. And I've got a couple horror stories saved to do some horror stories. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day. I will start putting out more content here soon, a little more quickly, once I get a bunch of stuff turned in. Have a great evening.